Hello, I'm Dick.
And I'm Eric, and we're the Annuity guys.
Eric, the inside story on annuity fees and commissions.
We're going to open it up and uncover it for everybody to know. Fees and commissions.
Well, and there's been so much, in the press. That's where annuities folks are attacked.
Well,
is on the fees and the commissions.
Well, and obviously, since we had this topic today, I thought, let me just put annuity fees into Google and let me see what it'll pull up.
Yes.
And it boom, boom, boom. There wasn't a positive thing out there. Not that annuity fees are positive to begin with, but it's amazing what comes up. There wasn't a single article that came up that dealt with fixed annuities, which was interesting.
Yes, that is interesting.
And the reason is because if we're going to talk about annuity fees, and especially being bad, we have to
it's on the variable
We got to focus on the variable annuities.
And that doesn't mean that fixed annuities don't have fees.
No.
It's just that they're much smaller.
Yeah. It's
less consequential.
There's not as much to talk about.
Yes.
So, and that's what I was, the Motley Fool was the first article that came up and it said, look, all these mortality and expense charges, well, these are things that are associated with the variable annuities.
Correct.
Then you had the income rider fees, which were, your guaranteed minimum income benefit. And then you could add on top of that a guaranteed minimum death benefit, and then all of a sudden you got fee after fee.
Yeah, then you've got your mutual fund sub-account fees.
I wasn't even talking about those are charges. Those are investment charges.
Right.
Those are okay.
Well, and you can't blame the financial industry and the financial writers for coming against 3 to 5% fees. That's in many ways it's excessive, and yet I don't think that fees are looked at as being positive in any area, whether it's investments, securities, or annuities, insurance products. But let's maybe think in terms of fees being a cost of insurance.
Yes, well, and I heard it explained very well the other day that with a variable annuity, and let's just talk about the VA for a second. You put $100,000 in, and they're going to guarantee you a payout of 6% or whatever, and they're going to give you these increases, all this wonderful stuff. Well, what happens if the market goes down 50%? Your portfolio loses half of their value.
That insurance company is stuck with that guarantee.
And how do you think they pay for that guarantee? With all those fees that you're paying.
Exactly.
And that's how they make that work. They're taking a lot more risk.
Yes.
So they have to take that risk and offset it with increased fees.
So, if there's a way to perhaps have lower fees and still have those insurance guarantees, which is one of the reasons we're such a proponent of the market-free hybrid annuities, the market-free fixed indexed, and just a whole multitude of annuities that are outside of market risk with either no fee at all or very low fee.
Right. And so let's go the inverse here. Now we've got an indexed annuity, which is a market-free indexed annuity here, has no involvement in the market.
No market risk of any kind.
No market risk at all. You put your $100,000 in, worst case scenario, you get the zero. The insurance company gets the zero. How much are they on the hook for? Well, just whatever that obligation that they set as far as they
because the portfolio isn't going to drop. They've got it invested, allocated to high grade investment type securities, bonds, government treasuries, the like. So there's just far less risk to the company.
A lot less risk
to the client.
So what's then the offset? Where are the fees? Much smaller, if at all. Usually the only fees on a market-free annuity are going to be in your income rider guarantees.
Right.
That guarantee that the insurance company is obligated to repay you for the rest of your life.
And Eric, we see those fees run anywhere from no fee on some income riders, which not too many of those.
No, not anymore.
But as low as maybe, when they start charging fees, 30, 40 basis points on up to, I think the largest I've seen is like 1.25%.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're starting to crawl slightly above 1% for some of the better guarantees. You're seeing these 6, 7, 8% roll-up guarantees. There's even a 10%, but it's simple interest, so there's a catch there. So, yes, those bigger roll-ups have bigger fees because there's more obligations that the insurance company has.
And I look at this a little bit. This probably isn't a fair analogy, but when you buy insurance for your home, you have a fee for that. You may never use that. Now, with an annuity,
you hope not.
Exactly, you hope you don't. But you're willing to pay that fee because it's a cost of insurance that you feel easily outweighs, that cost outweighs the benefit should you need to use it. So, with an annuity, you're more likely to actually get the benefit.
Yeah. Well,
So
you're actually usually counting on it.
you're planning.
Yeah.
It's part of your planning for your retirement. So in some ways, that fee is more justifiable. It is something that is factored into a rational decision. And then yet, as we discussed, people like to avoid fees. So if you can hold those fees down and get the guarantees you need, that's really the overall goal.
That's the crux of the annuity.
Yes,
It's
yes.
making sure you have lifetime income. Now, to get the lifetime income, you're going to usually work with an agent, and
Yes.
the agent or the producer or the advisor is going to earn
A commission. Isn't
I
that?
knew there was a gotcha there. Nothing in life is free. So
Well, and very different though than say an A-rated mutual fund. When a advisor earns a commission, where does it come from, Eric?
it comes out of your pocket.
Out of the client's pocket.
But if it's a load fund, though.
Right. So an A-rated. That's why I say an A-share.
A-share
So
load.
so if a client puts in $100,000, they start off with $95,000.
If it's 5% load, you never know what the load.
Yes, exactly. If it is right. So my comparison to that is an annuity. Okay, when an agent earns a commission on an annuity and $100,000 goes in, how much typically ends up in the account on a hybrid or a fixed indexed annuity?
Well,
you put $100,000 in of your premium.
Let me put it this way: I'm going to guarantee it's going to be at least 100,000. If it's one of these funds, fund bonus annuities, it might be
Yes.
even more. But we can't talk about that because then we're talking about
Exactly, and that is kind of my point. Is that you're going to get at least the 100,000. The vast majority have a bonus, so you may start off with 105, 110,000. Of course, there's the surrender charge period, the vesting period of that bonus that you have to get through before it's completely yours.
Now you're making this sound really good. What's the commission part, though?
Oh, we got to get back to the commission.
That's right.
Well, the agents earn these exorbitant commissions on annuities.
We've got to get paid.
Well, what does the media say that agents earn on commissions,
they're
Eric?
huge commissions.
10, 12%. So somebody
Really?
puts in $100,000.
He's been short,
and Eric
10,
makes
12%?
Eric makes $12,000. If it were only true.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if it were true, you'd probably have agents that really would be just pushing.
Exactly.
Now, about half that. I mean, typical commissions
Yes, that's true, Eric.
are right in the ballpark of
5 to 7%. Exactly.
Yes. And
that you may take care of that client for the next 20 years. On a 5 to 7% one-time commission.
And that's a one-time commission.
Yes.
You can elect to be paid very similarly
Right.
to the broker out there that's using, getting 0.25% trails. You can set up annuities to do the exact same thing. So
Yes.
depends on how you structure it, but you're also then looking at a lifetime of, usually a mutual fund, you may hold 5, 10, 15 years if you're really early in retirement.
Right.
Annuities, 5, 10, 20,
Even
30
all the way
if
through
it's
in
truly
retirement many
designed
times.
properly,
Exactly.
you're usually doing it 30
Exactly.
years. Is that agent going to service you for 30 years as long as they don't retire on you?
That's the good thing about annuities, Eric. You brought that up. And that is that folks can go directly to the company once the agent has set it up correctly in the first place. It's nice to have that agent. It's nice to have somebody to just go back and ask a question to. But the agent becomes a less necessary as compared to maybe an investment advisor that is going to make maybe 1% off of you every year.
Well, and they got to be in contact with you more often because they've got to convince you to move every so often in order to make
a
sure
little more money.
Now, and usually we have conversations with clients when their annual election period comes in, if they're in an index product and they're saying, hey, which is better this year? Do I want this index or this index and, this cap rate or, do I need to... That's usually the conversation we have each year,
Yes.
If it's on the managed money side, oh my gosh, we need to talk about the ups and the downs and what we're buying and what we're trading.
Right.
And
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the truth of the matter, Eric, when it comes to commissions, whatever you're doing, any financial product, you're going to have somebody's going to make money.
Yeah.
They're going to make an investment fee. They're going to make a commission. The key question is it right for you?
Is it mutually beneficial? Are you getting the value out of it that you expect?
And if it meets your retirement objective, it solves the long-term need and objective that you're trying to achieve, there's nothing wrong with it.